again, Trump's crypto U-turn. Are we no longer getting a Bitcoin strategic reserve? Was all of this just rhetoric to get into government? We need to talk about what's going on here, because we were promised a Bitcoin strategic reserve. We are now weeks into the new government. Many other campaign promises have been delivered on. Yet we still don't seem closer to a Bitcoin strategic reserve, which the market, quite frankly, was pricing in. What does this mean for the Bitcoin price? What does this mean for the future in terms of the US government and Bitcoin? We've got a lot to get into. Smash up likes. Do not forget to subscribe, guys. We're on a journey towards 20,000 subs. Please do hit up that subscribe button. Really does support the channel. Bitcoin sitting here at 98.2. After quite a difficult day yesterday, right? Down 3.6% yesterday. More worries around the tariffs, right? China's tariffs on the US after the US first imposed tariffs on China, on Canada, on Mexico. Of course, we did have some positives coming out through the last 24 hours as well, that Mexico and Canada are trying to figure this out with the US. That's all going to continue to play out, right? This is going to be a continuous volatile trade war. If you haven't watched my video yesterday, get caught up on the trade war stuff yesterday. But what I wanted to speak about today was the clear focus around his crypto czar, right? His crypto czar, David Sachs, who came out speaking about digital assets, saying that we're going to, bring forward a golden age, which the US wants to be a leader in. But the fact of the matter is, we're not getting the promise which we were promised. In fact, we got verbiage to suggest the otherwise. We heard that they are going to evaluate. They used the words, we're going to evaluate a Bitcoin strategic reserve. What does that mean? Trump told us if he's elected in power, we are getting one. He didn't say if I'm elected in power, I'm going to evaluate if we're going to get one, right? And this is just yet more political mispromises. And this is normally a word or a holding pattern politicians use when they don't want to do something. Now, I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love for them to next week or tomorrow or today come out with a Bitcoin strategic reserve. But this is not a good look. This is not a good look that they're saying we're going to evaluate one. Did you not do your research before you stood on stage trying to rally up votes saying you're going to introduce a Bitcoin strategic reserve? Right? Of course not. And at the time, I made videos doing the same, right? I said, guys, remember, he's going for your votes. Trump is going for your votes. Don't forget it. And it's important we remember this because, yes, as crypto investors, we can take the good with the good and the bad with the bad. And if there's certain things which are good for crypto, going to pump our bags, great. At the end of the day, we're investors. We're not getting married to anything. That being said, remember this, and I tweeted this earlier. If you're not following me at @realijaz01, you'll see my Twitter handle in the description. We don't need Trump nor his crypto czars. We, the people, own crypto. That was and always will be the point. And then I posted the following, and this was just my trailer thought at the time, which is why it's worth you guys being following me on Twitter as well, so you get this consciousness as well. I said the following. I said, makes me wonder. If the US starts to have a disproportionate control or weight upon BTC, maybe OG crypto people will move across to Bitcoin Cash. What about Bitcoin Single Vision, right? One of these platforms. We have to be careful what we wish for. And this is something I've spoken about quite a bit, right? We've spoken about this at length, particularly when crypto people, crypto bros used to want, the Bitcoin spot ETF. They wanted institutions involved. They want the BlackRocks of the world involved. And now they want the Trump and the US government and Congress involved. And they're super happy that Hester Pierce is the SEC commissioner now. I get it. I get you're always looking for the next catalyst, which is going to pump your bag. I understand that. But you also have to understand the bigger movement here in crypto. And if you're not part of the bigger movement, then you're not going to have the holding power to be here for long enough when the market pumps and dumps. And the longer term view of crypto has and always will be that we want to be different from the incumbents. We don't want to be the same as the fiat system. Therefore, when you invite spot ETFs, when you invite BlackRocks, when you invite Fidelities and the JP Morgans of the world and the SEC commissioners and you want the president of the US involved to pump your bags, you have to take the good with the bad and you have to understand there will be some unintended consequences. Right? Because if you've not seen how traditional finance played out, that's exactly what will happen with our darling crypto, our darling Bitcoin, if we allow these same people to come and control our crypto. So be careful who you open the door with. And that is why I shared this tweet to say all that's going to happen is the people who understand the real vision of crypto, who created crypto, who were part of the early movement to say that we are different from TradFi, we are different from the incumbents who are doing all the actual fraud, who are actually manipulating currencies, who are actually dumping on poor people and deflating their fiat currency and keeping them poor forever. They knew that we needed to control our own finances. And that is why if Bitcoin becomes just an asset class, of the new modern asset class of the incumbents, right, of the new world order, guess what? That movement's going to move somewhere else. That movement's going to move whether to Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin Single Vision, or maybe they create a new crypto. Who knows? But we cannot lose our Bitcoin, right? And this is not something I'm wishing for. I'm just sharing you. I'm just sharing my stream of consciousness with you that this is not going to be a good path to go down. So please don't hold these guys in such high regard, whether it's Trump, whether it's your new SEC commissioner, whether it's David Sachs, the crypto czar. None of these people are important. We, the people who opt to hold crypto, to operate in crypto, who understand that fiat currency is a scam, we are the powerful ones, not these mavericks. Yes, they can introduce some legislation. Yes, they can pump your bags for a bit like we saw with the Bitcoin spot ETF. I get it. But just be careful what you wish for. These guys are not going to change your financial future overnight. All they are a bunch of greedy crooks that are only doing things in their best interest, and they're only going to do so from positions of strength. Do you think these guys are going to build their Bitcoin strategic reserve at $110,000 per Bitcoin? Oh, no. They'll much rather keep dumping the market and buying cheap when they liquidate all the retail investors. That's what they're going to do. So if you invite these guys in, understand there will be manipulation, there will be tactics, there'll be things that will be outside of the control of you and I as individual investors. I've seen it. I was a trader at an investment bank. I saw how they operate in traditional finance. One of the reasons why, I got spooked out of that field and came into crypto. I know how these guys operate. I saw the financial crisis. I saw the LIBOR scandals. I saw all the stuff that they do. And guess what? They'll bring that to our crypto as well if we allow them the opportunity to do so. Just wanted to get that off my chest and share that with you guys. Now, coming back to the price action, look, let's be frank. We don't look good here on Bitcoin, right? The price action does not look good. I've got multiple time frames here on the hourly chart below EMA ribbon. On the 4-hourly chart below EMA ribbon, we just got rejected and we're now going back down. The bears will want to push us down to a lower low, right? They want to push us in this direction to the downside. If you look at the top right chart, now you're looking at the daily chart. The daily chart, yesterday we closed below the EMA ribbon. Not good. If we can't bounce back today and quickly start getting back, and we continue to remain up below our daily EMA ribbon, that's not good for the short-term trend. And our weekly EMA ribbon, you can see we're sideways, we're consolidating. We still have okay strength on the weekly chart. The weekly chart is the only thing that's giving me calmness. But again, more and more days here to the downside, and it won't be long before we're testing our weekly EMA ribbon between that 88,000 and 72,000 is that EMA ribbon here. Just you can see this here next to my display picture there. Okay, so this is the range I'm looking for here on the weekly chart. So we're not looking strong right now, right? There are worries around the tariff. There's worries around whether inflation is going to pop up again, right? There's certain dynamics in the economy which are making it difficult for us to move. So when you're looking at this chart, you've got to be very, very prepared that we don't just start toppling over, right? You can see we had a peak here. We've gone back up and tested it again. We've struggled again. So naturally, you're creating an M pattern, which has a bias to come to the downside. I've repeated this time and time again. We never retested that previous all-time high once we broke from it, right? We've not created scaffolding. We've not created strength in the price. Ever since this movement, we've not created an area where we can build some strength and then attack from there back to the upside. And that's what we need to do here on Bitcoin. We need to find that support level. If that support level wants to be around here at 91,000, this is strong enough for us to use as our launch pad upwards, that's fine. It doesn't have to be that we have to go to previous all-time highs, but it's nice. If you come back to all-time highs, the previous 73 range, retest it, build some strength, and then go keep climbing, that's normally a better sign for the future. The fact that you've actually gone there, retested it, prove to the market participants that that level is now support what was once such tough resistance. We've now turned it into important support. That's normally a good sign. Now, if we jump on down to the hourly chart, you can see I've still got my Fibonacci levels, which I shared with you guys yesterday. Bitcoin did have its bounce, right, from that extreme dump down towards 91. It climbed all the way up there up until 102 and then came down here. So let me just extend these lines so you guys can see it. Just pull that out there, and you can see it tried to bounce from the 0.5 level. It's now just hovering around the golden pocket. That's your 0.618 to 0.65. If you've not taken TA and you want to take a TA course, ijazcrypto.com/TA, I go for everything. Head and shoulders pattern. I go through your Adam and Eve patterns, your cup and handles, your Japanese candlesticks, your dojis, your Fibonacci levels, EMA ribbons, all of it's in one place. So if you want to take a TA course, ijazcrypto.com/TA. If you actively want to trade with me, jump into our Telegram group. If you take out a yearly membership with the trading community, you get the TA course for free. So take advantage of that. Links in description. So this is an important level. We've got to bounce from here and create that higher high. That higher high will need to take us above 102.5. If we struggle, if we do something like this, then it's not looking good. Okay? That's not what we want here. We're going to have a proper bounce here, get above that 102.5, then you can come back down, that's fine, create a higher low and keep working your way to the upside. Okay? So I'm watching 102.5 very, very carefully here on the hourly chart. Coming down to the 4-hourly chart, that's when you start to see that on the EMA ribbon, we're below it, right? It's acting as resistance, and it's important that if we want to change that trend, we get exactly like I said to you on the hourly chart, past that 102.5 level, get back above the EMA ribbon, create that higher high, and then we can maintain a trend. Failing that, if we get rejected in this range from 100K, from this EMA ribbon around the 100K mark, guess what? Our daily chart's not going to look good. Our daily chart is going to start trending downward in this direction, and that's going to spell some pain. If I jump on over to the dollar index, you can see the last couple of days has sent it to the downside, which is good. That means risk rotated back on, but you still have to remember there's still a lot of EMA ribbon support here for the dollar index. So you don't want the dollar index to do this. That's not what we want now. We need the dollar index to continue to decline. We want to see a daily candle close below the EMA ribbon and start heading in this direction. Similarly for Bitcoin dominance, right? It's been a strong period for Bitcoin dominance because of the fears, because of the worries around the tariffs, because of the uncertainty. You've seen that Bitcoin dominance has created that higher high. I mean, that wick was crazy, right? When the crash happened, you saw dominance climb to as high as 64%. Again, you want to see this cooling down. If this doesn't cool down, your altcoins are not going to pump. They're not going to pump, okay? So it's important that you start seeing this trending back down towards 59% if you want to see some green in altcoins. In other news in the market, you can see Trump coin moving 11%. I mean, again, a lot of people are asking me, should I hold Trump coin, etc., etc. Look, whilst he's in power, Trump coin's going to have crazy days. It's just how it is. He's going to say a certain bit of news, or he may launch, something else to do with his Trump coin, and it's going to have positive days. So if you're a meme trader and somebody wants to take advantage of that momentum, Trump coin could be a good coin to hold, particularly while he's in power. Melania up 6.53%. Let's move on to some more serious coins here that we can take a look at. Grass is having a good day, up 7%. Ondo 6.5% up on the day. So you are getting selective movement now, and hopefully this is now our sign that money's starting to rotate back into quality, right? Really, we're not going to see our next big move until we have that switch. We need to see that people are rotating away from their memes, away from short-term gains, and trying to get into good projects. And when you start to see those good projects start to climb, that's when you normally got a good sign that we're ready for a prolonged period of move to the upside. That being said, we need Bitcoin to show some strength again. We need Bitcoin to get back to those all-time highs, start pushing back on beyond 109, 110, and that way we can have permission for all coins to start moving. If Bitcoin continues to stall around here, it's not going to be a good look. Cool. So just wanted to share my views on that, guys. Be careful of how much trust you put in these politicians. Don't let them become mavericks. Don't put them on a pedestal. There's no need for it. We're fine without them. Crypto is here to stay regardless. And that's all that matters. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this type of content, smash up likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you actively want to trade, I'm trading on Bybit, guys. Bybit, links in description. Check them out. They've got an amazing offer where if you just register and deposit $100, they're giving you for free $1,000 trade, and you can withdraw the profit. So if you use that $1,000, you make $500 from it. You can withdraw the 500. Your 100 still in your account that you deposited. You're not giving it to anyone. You're just depositing. So it's win-win. Set yourself up a new account using the link in the description. Take advantage of that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.